Good afternoon, trader. So we've had another quiet week this week purely because of the consolidation that we're in with the ALMI. But if you can look at the quarter for this, for the last quarter of the year, we've done pretty well. We're on our 4 winning trades. We took 1 losing trade on the 1st of November, which isn't bad. So we had an 80% win rate. But more importantly, the total return on margin is 57.36%, and it's not the end of the quarter yet. I'm still expecting a minimum of 3 trades. Could be more, but it will not be less. And hopefully the Aussie will break it out into a formation, so we can follow the trend, whether it continues to go up or if it breaks down. But anyway, we can take a look at the Aussie, which is the first thing I want to show you today, and that is this channel that it continues to bounce up and down on. You can see that from the previous week. Remember last week I sent a webinar and I said that we've closed our positions, we've raised our stop losses, it's very tight, and purely because it did not break above this channel and I wasn't happy, and we made a good decision because we could be sitting at losses and instead we took some profits. So that's good. The next thing is, I've gone through this watch list today, okay? I've done it, and I'm not planning on doing it in this webinar because there is nothing lining up, unfortunately. So there's no point in going through it. But what I do want to go through are stocks that could potentially go into my watch list, and I'm happy because of our win rate. I'm happy to send out a trade if there is a high probability trade according to the strategy. So I haven't done it this year where I've added stocks to the watch list, and for the first time you're going to be going through it with me so that we can allocate which stocks we should look into the future and which potential trades are lining up, because I know more than 10 days of no trades is almost ridiculous, especially for a trader service. But the thing is, I don't want to send out trades that you're going to take losses instead of banking gains. So it's very important that we find the high probability trades. And now I've gone to the WCS, the worst case scenario, where we're going to look for extra stocks, other than my watch list, and then we can send it out. But there will be, tight stop losses, and you can risk 2%, well, maximum 2%. You can set it at 1.5 if you want. You're taking the cost, and then it goes to around 2%. So let's go through it. First one, BVT. BVT is Bidvest. Oi, you do not want to trade when there's been an enormous gap, and that was when there was a split in Bidvest Corp. Okay, so this is something that I'm not looking at the moment, and as you can see, there are no setups per se. So that is definitely not going on the watch list. Next one, CPI. I think that is Capitec. Capitec, it's been going up a trajectory since May, and it's been quite strong. However, it has not broken out of a pattern. Therefore, this is a continuation trend more than a breakout pattern. Okay? Just so you know, I haven't looked at these charts yet. So it's quite exciting on my side. So you can see, instead of me preparing and looking at everything for the webinar, it's nice to go through it with fresh eyes, and you can also see it with fresh eyes. And if you have anything to comment on, new stocks that we're adding to the watch list, then you can go to the investorsclub.co.za. I'm always happy to hear your thoughts. Exaro, it was on my watch list for a couple of years, and then what happened was it started to gap. This is not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for gaps when I trade because the volatility will be too high, and you can clearly see. However, there was a beautiful cup and handle that formed, broke above, and it would have actually hit our take profits. So, Exaro, I don't think it's going to be on the watch list just yet, but let's, I'll keep looking at it. FirstRand. This was also another one that was on the watch list, and I don't know what happened, to be honest. So I'm going to put it back on. I'm very happy with all the banks on the watch list. I don't know what happened, but in this case, it's following similar to, I think it was Capitec that we saw, that is just a strong uptrend, but then there are these gaps in the market, and I do not like those with, consistent trading. So FSR, GRT, it was on the watch list, and then what happened was it just kept going sideways, and it did not show strong movements to the upside, so I'm not going to include that in the watch list just yet. Let's see, what else do we have? IPL is Imperial. Let's see, what do we have here? I took it off the watch list because of this candle. I don't remember what happened, but it interferes with the movement of the stocks, and it was in the beginning of the year, and I said no, I do not trust these volatile stocks, and now it's just been going sideways since, let's say, July. It's been going absolutely nowhere. So reasons why it's not on the watch list. Let's see, next one is NPN. Ooh, this is not one you want to touch. There is a lot of algorithms that gets involved on the with NPN. I know that there are many high frequency traders that trade NPN with every rand that goes up and down, and there's ones being thrown around and the volume doesn't look great. So this is a bit it's not a very good stock to trade, purely because there is too much manipulation going on. I don't know who's manipulating it, but when I look at the stocks, I learn to recognize based on volume and price on manipulation. But that's my opinion. You never know. Old Mutual was on my watch list for very long, and then what happened was there were too many gaps. Look at these gaps in the market. So I said, Old Mutual, you are too risky to trade. I'll look at something else. PPC, gaps. You don't want to trade gaps, because imagine we went long at this level, and you woke up on Monday morning, first thing, or whenever this day was, 31st of August, and it was down at 6 Rand 22. Is that correct? My goodness, PPC has come down dramatically, so that is definitely not on the watch list. Redefine. Let's see how Redefine's doing. First thing I see is a gap. Sideways movement, volatility. This is not attractive. Remember, you are looking for attractive stocks and not volatile, not unattractive stocks. We are actually quite boring traders because we don't like volatility. RMH, this is supposed to be on the watch list, I think. I have sent out a RMH trade this year, so I don't know what happened. It's also because I moved to this Rand Swiss Pro Trader account and platform. Before I was using AmiBroker, which was great, but there were just too many technical problems that I had with them, and I'm happy to stream charts instead of download it and then have possibilities that I lose my charts and then spend hours trying to fix it. But that's just me again. Okay, SAB Miller, I know that they've now moved to Anheuser-Busch and Bev, so no point in looking there. So you see, there's reasons for my madness why I don't choose certain stocks with the watch list. Excuse that beeping. Every time I press enter, it tends to beep. Maybe it's telling me that I have pressed enter as a warning. Sasol, well, you saw what Brent crude did yesterday. It went up 8% to $51 a barrel. That is a huge movement considering the fact that we expected it to go down to $30. But it's not over yet. I mean, the OPEC deals took place, and there was a lot of demand kicking in. There was a lot of panic buying, and it generally does not reflect the market. That is it. That is literally all the stock. So I'm sorry to say this, traders, but I do not see any stocks lining up. If you do, please let me know. I'm just going to go through this watch list one more time because we have to write at least one potential stock. Famous Brands broke out of this wedge formation. It's a wedge because it's more than a month or 2 months, and looks like it's on its way to around this level. So if it pulls back, there could be a potential trade. I will write that down, and we will take the conservative approach for the wedge. Okay. Kumba, nothing. Mr. Price, nothing. MTN, Netbank, nothing. Netcare, Pick and Pay, Remgro, Standard Bank. You see, you remember we raised our stop loss to around 152.50, and now it's currently at 149. So we did make the right decision to get out, purely because the Aussie did not hit above that channel. ShopRite. Yes, ShopRite is forming something. Remember last week in the webinar I told you it was forming an inverse head and shoulders. So here is the left shoulder, here's a potential head, and now it should bounce up from here and form the right shoulder, and we will definitely get into this one. I will write it down again. I don't remember all the trades that we go through in the webinars, purely because this could take another 2 weeks just to line up. But anyway, I'll write this down as inverse